It is now 2026, which means we are officially in the Slay the Spire 2 release year for early access, and tomorrow, conveniently on the 23rd, is actually 7 years since Slay the Spire 2 officially launched 1.0. So, if you've been around for 8.5 years since the original release of STS, I mean, that's a long time waiting for essentially the sequel. Now with January though, I think it's no surprise that with the holidays and everything else, it's just a lighter Neowsletter. There is really no real big information here, but there is at least a little bit of an update with Slay the Spire 2 with some card changes and some cleaner looking artwork. So obviously over the past year since Megacrit has released any teasing content, they've been working on new mechanics, cards, characters, events, etc. Pretty much starting from the ground up when it comes to developing a game. And as you can see, the Gold Axe here was originally listed as an exhaust card, 2 cost, and you think, wow, deal damage equal to the number of cards played in this combat? You draw that first turn? Really terrible. Well, probably after many iterations of alpha and beta, Gold Axe is now 1 cost and doesn't exhaust. A very healthy buff for what I would consider a decent, now rare card. And of course, we also have the other version of a super teased OP card. So Rolling Boulder here, 3 cost power, where at the start of your turn, you're dealing 10 damage to all enemies, and that increases by 10 every turn. Well, it got nerfed to shit. And essentially, you're going down to 5 to all and only building up to 5. So the idea of Rolling Boulder being just an auto pick, probably not so much anymore. Now, one of the bigger changes that they're showing here is actually the Necrobinder's original card, Bodyguard. They do mention here as well that the intent of Bodyguard was going to be something very similar to what the Ironclad has with Bash or the Silent has with Survivor. This is that unique starter deck card. Well, after some time and refinement, we now have fully shifted from Bodyguard over to Unleash, which is then going to make Asti deal 5 and then deal an additional damage based on Asti's current HP. And they haven't really confirmed it, but my assumption is that Unleash at this point definitely has to be in the starter deck because they want to have some at least Asti starter, and this seems pretty reasonable. And way before they also even teased some events, so we had this War Historian event where originally we had a very beta looking sad frog within a cage. Obviously nothing changes here within the actual event, but now just look at that artwork. Wow, beautiful, even though it would be pretty cool to have an option to get beta art for events, just like you do with cards. But it's just kind of showing that over the months, obviously tons of refinement been happening, and this is pretty clean if you ask me. And of course, they had the pleasure of sharing with us some updates within just the alpha logs. No context whatsoever, so do what you want, but enter your whole option is no longer costing HP. Fantastic. Added the new relic bread. Increased number of Act 1 rest sites to 6 to 7. I'm going to be honest, I think that's just a 6-7 meme. I don't even think that's a real update. And then last, Sunflower and Cupcake will no longer block you from clicking feedback buttons. That's all we got. Short update. Again, February has been the ultimate tease, and we are now officially 30 days away from that Neowsletter. Probably actually less because this was a week late. And then we are now in the under 60 day until STS 2 is officially released early access. Until then, you already know I'll be here talking about stuff like this for the remainder of the year. Until next time, though. Appreciate you all.